KMC guy here again from Automated System Solutions, ASS. Let's continue. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a reset block using macro block programming. Yes, there is a reset block already in the block library, but I don't like it, and I'll show you how it works and why I don't like it. Okay, so here's the reset block, and let's do a boiler reset. I've already got the objects programmed, so we're going to connect the outside air temperature to this. Okay, and then we're going to take the low outside air temperature, and I'm making the assumption that the in is going to be the outside air temperature values, and then the high would go here. This all seems pretty obvious. Okay, and now we're going to bring the water temperatures in. So I've got the hot water heating high set point, reset set point. Now this is where I'm confused. Does it go to the maximum or the minimum? Well, since a boiler reset is a reverse reset, I'm going to make the assumption that it goes to the minimum, which doesn't really make sense. And then we're going to take the low, we're going to bring that up here, and we're going to attach that to the high. The next thing I don't like about this is the slope and y-intercept. Okay, sure, you have to calculate those to do a line function, but I don't really need that information. But unfortunately, I have to assign that to objects. Well, I'm not going to assign it to AVs that I might want to use for other things. So I'm going to make some local variables here. And notice you've got this button V1. This is where you make local variables. And I click that, and then it comes up with 1. It's automatically switched from objects to local variables. And I'm going to call this slope. And then the next one, so I'm going to add another one. I'm going to go Y I don't know. Okay, so now I got the Y I don't know. So I'm going to attach those to this. I've got the slope. One of the weird things about this is these objects don't always show up down here. At least one of them will, and it usually doesn't show up with a name. I usually select it anyways. Then I go back into it, and it'll usually show up after that. Then you got to do the same thing, and it may be a little quirky on the next one. Now see how it does. It shows up on named 1, and I'm going to go back in, and there's a Y I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to write this to the variable, the heating water set point. So there it is. Attach this object, and hit run. Okay, ran successful. We're on play here, so it seems reasonable. We got 25 degrees outside air temperature, and we're doing 175. So let's change that temperature to, let's say, halfway in between. What do we got here? So we got, let's do it 40 then. So I'm going to change the temperature to 40. So let's go to the outside air temperature, and we're going to change that to 40. Save. Go back to the program and see what she does after the fact, and it calculated 150. So this appears to be working. I just don't like these extra points and how misleading this is. Okay, so I went and made my own block for this. So I'm going to delete this block. Delete that information. I suppose I could have left that in there. I made a block called ResetPlus. Now really I should probably call it Reset Minus, but so here's how this block works. Now I have x1, x2, y1, y2. And the way this one works is you x1 value, so let's say it's a outdoor air temperature, whatever you have for outdoor air temperature x1, you put in Y1 what you want that to be. So let's try this out. We're going to do OA again. So there's the OA temperature shared. We're going to attach that to here. Now this is up to the input. And then we've got the low, so that's to there. And then we've got the high. That's to there. And then we'll do the set points. Heating water supply. Okay, so here's the high and the low. So X1, what do we want Y1 to be at X1? We want that to be the high value. So we're going to take the high there. And we're going to attach that to there. And then the low, of course, you're going to put up there. And then attach this. Now the way I programmed this is it's ambidextrous. Doesn't matter how you did it. If you did the water temperature low above the water temperature high, and then you would switch the other two, it will automatically calculate it regardless of what direction you're going. Okay, so then there's the set point. I'm going to attach that. Again, that's actually an output, but I set it up as an input like I've showed in other videos. Now notice how there's no y-intercept and slope there. I'll show you what I did here in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to save this program. Ran successful, and this should automatically calculate the, remember how it was showing 150 before, now it's showing 150 again. This is much easier without that y-intercept and slope. I'm going to show you the code behind that. All I did is took the formulas for the y-intercept and the slope, the exact same code that KMC was using with that other reset, and you just backfed it into the next formula to calculate the whole thing. So here is the code. The reason why I'm showing it to you here instead of in the block program is it goes off the screen. I wanted you to see all of it. So here is the code, and I'm not going to explain it all. And here's where I set it up to be ambidextrous, so it doesn't matter which direction you go with the outside air temperature and the reset. So I think the block program reset is much easier to use. Another thing I did with this is, I'll go into the actual, I made these real numbers instead of the default of variables. If you were to hand type these values in and you didn't put real, it's going to look at them all as integers and the calculation is going to be wrong. So that's why I switched them all to real numbers. So it's looking at them as decimal points.